Good morning, DIY Dad here again. We have mechanical issues this morning. Well, that's a surprise, isn't it, in Forestry? Surely not. Well, yeah, quite normal. Right, so today's problem is the starter motor on this machine I'm on. This small little thinnings forwarder has decided that it doesn't want to be a starter motor anymore. It wants to be a boat anchor. So we'll just quickly go through that, a very quick video, because I've got to go on and take it off. If you see on the screen down here, just here, you'll see that says 28.5 volts. Now this is a 24 volt machine, which means it's got two batteries. Give you 24 volts for starting. That means that when it's charging, it's charging at 28 volts. So the battery's charging. I know the batteries are good. If I turn it off, won't start again. If I turn it off, it'll then, the computer's gone off, but it'll show 25 volts. So I know the batteries are very good. It's had a new one recently anyway. Now, spin around. What are the symptoms of a starter motor that's knackered? Well, it's quite obvious really, it won't start. But a starter motor consists of two parts. There's a solenoid and the actual starter motor. So the electric goes to the solenoid, which is a bit on the top, and that fires the starter motor in. Now if you can hear the solenoid clicking, probably like this. You hear that? So the solenoid's clicking, trying to fire the starter motor in, but the starter motor won't fire. So let's go and have a look. Oh, and it's raining again. It's meant to be fairly biblical today apparently, so we'll get stopped anyway, so it's a good time to fix things when it's raining. Right, so it's quite easy to see on this machine. I'm gonna turn, no I'm not. Right, this here is the starter motor, just here. That's the starter motor. This bit on the top is the solenoid. So this solenoid bit fires the starter motor in. So what I'm going to have to do is take that off. Try and get a number off it because I can't see one. Or get that one rebuilt maybe if we can't get a hold of one. So yeah, if you're having problems in the morning with your car starting, let's go and stand under this tree. You'll find that this always happens on cold mornings when you're late for work. The first thing that happens is turn the key, nothing happens. If nothing happens at all, if you don't get anything, it's likely that the battery is flat. So you can test that, you can get a meter on it, you can test the battery, should be showing 12 volts, 11.5 or something. When it's running it'll be between 13 14 volts probably. Now if you charge the battery and the battery is good, it's likely that the alternator's not charging the battery. So when you're driving along, the battery's discharging but your alternator isn't charging it. And to get away with that, if you're only going short distances, you can always take the battery out and just keep charging the battery until you get your alternator replaced. These are fairly common issues. With older cars, there would always an issue. I've done hundreds of alternators, hundreds of starter motors. It's just how it is. So yeah, this is going to be my job today. I think is take that starter motor off. So if you get clicking, but no starting, you've got power, then it's likely the actual starter motor itself is worn out. They have brushes in them, like any electric motor, and what happens over time, the brushes wear out. They run on like a copper, if you imagine a piece of copper tube with two brushes either side of it. And basically what happens is that you get a groove worn in the copper tube, and the brushes get worn and they just don't make contact properly. And when the starter motor starts to fail, when it spins and then stops, it's likely that it always stops in the worst position for you. So then it just won't start. Another trick is you can put your car in gear, take the handbrake off, rock it backwards and forwards to move the starter motor, and sometimes it'll move the starter motor into a position where it'll start again. This one, I have moved the engine around on this one, but it didn't make any difference. I think this is just ancient. This one, it's happened quite suddenly as well. So it's just had it. So I need to take it off. Right, that's enough for me. Watching me getting soaking wet. So I will leave you and we'll speak again. Right, DOI dead update. I'm wet. What a surprise! Things always break when it's raining. Right, so those that haven't seen one before, this is a starter motor here. So you've got solenoid on the top, which fires in the starter motor, and this bit is the main starter motor. And you see there's a gear here that meshes. There's a big gear that runs all the way around the flywheel on the back of the engine, and that meshes into that. That gear spins round, fires out this way. Mesh it and turns the flywheel to start the engine. So if you have your first car, it's more difficult nowadays. Things aren't as easy to get to, and the starter motor's gone. It's actually relatively physically an easy job. So basically 3 bolts on this one. Disconnect the battery first so you don't burn everything down. 3 bolts hold this on to the bell housing, and then disconnect the wires to the back, and that's it. It falls off in your hand. Older ones are a lot easier to get to than more modern ones, like I said, because of all the plastic bits and stuff on them. But generally, in terms of ease of work, this is probably one of the easier jobs, and it's definitely something that you can have a go yourself. Save you a bit of money. So nowadays, starter motors, you basically take them to your local car electrics place, or just any car parts place, and they tend to be an exchange unit, so you give them yours and they give you one that works. Happy days. This one's probably a bit different. This has got an obscure one. It's a bit old, this one, so this might actually have to be rebuilt. I'm going to go and find out now. So anyway, if you have a problem with your starter motor, that's how you fix it.